Joyce.
Yes?
Trivia question.
If it's
question.
If it's a sports question, I swear to God.
No, not even.
Okay, go.
What film did we watch the other night starring Chris Helmsworth?
Oh.
Okay, what was it about?
Chris Helmsworth, aka Thor, was like a military guy for hire. What do you call those guys?
A mercenary.
Mercenary, right?
Right.
But somehow he was like a mercenary in India?
Yeah, it was like a Slumdog Millionaire type situation.
Right. God, what was it called? It was like a one-word movie.
It was kind of like
The Taken.
It was like Taken meets 16 Blacks starring Bruce Willis.
Meets Bollywood.
No, meets Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, I guess so. Yep.
And
what was the name?
A young boy, the son of a crime lord, gets kidnapped by a rival crime lord. Climbing the
ladder, crime lord.
A milder climate. And Chris Helmsworth is hired to make
a rescue.
Sort of a rescue. You might say he's trying to extract him.
Extraction?
That was the title. Extraction.
Like a tooth. Like a root canal.
Right, so was there anybody else famous in the movie besides Chris Helmsworth?
Indian famous.
Yeah, I looked on the Internet Movie Database, and some of the Indian people had pictures.
Right, I feel like I was really happy.
When they're not famous, they just have like a question mark instead of like a headshot.
I was actually pleasantly surprised that it was almost an all Indian cast.
Jean-Claude Van Damme has a lot of movies like that. Like he'll make a movie in Thailand, and he's the only everybody else is from whatever country that's being filmed in.
Right, but he's just fighting people in that culture. They're not main character roles. Even in Bloodsport, his sidekick main character was not.
What the fuck movie?
Foreign.
What do you think just happened in this movie that we just watched? What did Chris Helmsworth do besides?
No, but that
people?
Other Indian dude was a main character. That the drug lord hired also to rescue his son. He was a main character.
He had dialogue, ladies and gentlemen.
He was throughout the entire movie till the end. Well, and I feel like he's probably a superstar over there.
Well, we could speculate on that all day. It was nice to see that there were other people in the movie. It was kind of like Snowpiercer. It had Captain America, and then a bunch of who gives a fuck.
It had Thor, and everybody else.
Thor versus the brown people.
Right, but it wasn't a bad movie. It was alright, even though I couldn't remember the name.
Thor single-handedly takes down Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Oh, it was alright. There were the the more character development parts where he talks to the kid that got kidnapped, and they kind of get to know each other a little bit better. I couldn't really understand anything that they were saying.
I think that's because it was a low volume movie. There were parts.
We're watching shit's exploding, and it was blah. People are screaming, and then they have these character development conversations, and Chris Helmsworth was just
right, that wasn't a crack about the Indian dialogue. That was about Chris Helmsworth. He was
well, the Indian kid's I speak in a thick accent as well.
But it was a low volume, because there was a couple times I couldn't understand what they were saying either.
But I mean, if you liked Taken, and you liked Slumdog Millionaire, and you liked 16 Blacks starring Bruce Willis and Mos Def, probably like this movie.
I thought that the fight choreography was pretty top notch in this movie.
Oh, that's a good point. If you like shootings and explosions to a point where they become implausible, but not too implausible. Like Commando level implausible.
I'm just saying, like, their actual choreography of fighting was pretty on point.
Like some Jet Li ass shit.
Yeah, but it looked good. It was like, it wasn't shitty. What? It looked good. Now, the plot
Good.
would have been okay, but it's like, immediately when he calls somebody that's his old buddy, and they get in the house, and he's like, "Can I stay with you?" Like, you're immediately like, oh, this guy's gonna be a fucking... this guy's gonna be a traitor, a treacherous friend. He's gonna fucking...
A lot of predictable...
And that's what happened. So, so the plot wasn't that great. It wasn't original at all. The only thing that made it seem original is because there was all Indian cast and it was in India. But again, that's not really original story.
I mean, I think Jean-Claude Van Damme probably has a similar movie.
If he says Jean-Claude Van Damme one more again...
Dude, have you ever seen the intro scene to JCVD, the film?
I'm sure that I have.
No, you haven't.
Do you remember that show we watched with him in it? About him?
Jean-Claude Van Johnson? Yes,
yeah.
I did.
That was pretty fun.
No, but in JCVD, you can find it on YouTube. Look up JCVD intro, like, credits scene. And it's just Jean-Claude Van Damme killing people for like 5 minutes while Baby Huey plays in the background.
No.
Excellent choreography.
Do you think there's one with Thor?
One long continuous shot. Just fucking mwah.
Okay, but Jean-Claude Van Damme is a fucking martial artist.
Oh, wait.
Thor isn't. He actually knows how to fucking fight.
Okay.
Thor is just doing it for the film.
I need patience, Jesus. Okay, Thor was good, but how did you like the one long... There's like a famous long... There's like a 3-minute long continuous action scene in this film.
You're talking about when they're running through the...
Kind of like in that movie, The Protector. Yeah, like they're running through the scene, and then there's a fucking car chase in it too, like a long continuous shot. It was really good.
Well, but there was parts of it that like, didn't make sense.
There were things that like, oh, obviously that happened because they were trying to do this long continuous shot.
But like they were in the sewer
but
for
just
the longest
appreciate
time.
it for what it is. Oh yeah, they go in the sewer.
And it was clear,
they're
like
not Ninja
obviously,
Turtles.
if you're made it to the sewer, you could just keep going till you get out. And they were surrounded by a couple rivers, so it's like, why can't you just?
Oh yeah, that's smart because
get in the fucking river at a point where there's no bridge and fucking swim across. Like
this bitch is smart as hell. I didn't even think of that. They're in the sewer, and the whole point of the movie is that they have to get past this river, but all the bridges are being watched, so they can't cross the bridge, even though they end up trying.
Kind of like a video game.
But they're in the sewer, and you would think that at some point the sewer does end up in the river. They didn't think to try that? Damn, where's your head at, Chris Helmsworth?
He didn't write it.
Why didn't you tell the director, like, this makes no sense?
I'm not gonna do this, it makes no sense. Well, a lot of actors should do that.
I can't try to cross the bridge, it makes no sense. Why would I do that?
I often wonder why actors don't question, like, why would I do this? And, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, when you're acting something, I understand.
They delivered a dump truck full of money to his house.
I mean, I guess, but, I mean, if I was an actor, I would still have, like, some logic. Like, this doesn't make sense. Why would we do this?
Here's how this movie happens. They greenlight, like, some production company, whatever it was, they give whatever script a budget for $30 million. They pay Chris Helmsworth 20 of the $30 million, and then he no longer gives a shit.
Right.
And he's just like, I'm happy to be here in fucking Bangladesh.
Right, because it's fun. I get it.
You talking sound like Chris Helmsworth again.
Oh my God.
That wasn't as good as the first time.
You put me on the spot.
Alright, I guess we should just wrap it up. Would you watch it again?
I mean, if somebody else was playing it, I wouldn't seek it out.
If you had to choose between Slumdog Millionaire, Taken, or 16 Blocks starring Bruce Willis and Most Def. Which one would you pick?
Taken.
I would pick 16 Blocks. Happy birthday, Corey.
Happy birthday, Corey.